shoe, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, what said that you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Online News with your boy the King. Now, I've been sitting here. I've been doing a couple of researches, since I've been sick, and the topic is basically the price of video games. And I had a chance to go to my room, my retro room, where I have all my classic arcade games, and I'm cleaning up and I'm doing stuff, and I'm looking at all these games and all these prices of games that that I have, and how much I've spent over the years. I remember, going back early on, where video game cartridges back in the days were $60 to $80. I remember Strider coming out for Genesis. Strider was a 16 meg cartridge, I believe. And that thing cost Cognito, I think it was $85 back then. So like if you adjust it for inflation, that thing is well over 120 something bucks, I believe, probably at this day and age. And the word is, on the horizon is that video games is about to take another major leap going forward in pricing and pricing structure, because video games have become more and more over the decades costly, from development to delivery. And back when I was purchasing cartridges for Nintendo, for Genesis, for Sega, Master System, for TurboGrafx, and importing, games, prices over $100 and something wasn't far off. I remember going to Crazy Sounds and getting games and consoles and stuff like that for an exorbitant amount of prices. Like, I'll give you for instance, my Neo Geo cost me $600. I think it was $599 at the time. Cost me $600, and each cartridge cost $249.95. You heard me right, $249.95. So you have to think now, $249.95 for a cartridge, and I willingly purchased it, and I purchased every game. Now I'm going to get into how that trends, that kind of changes over a period of time, and I believe why we feel the pinch a bit different now. Now, when we got to CDs, we thought the CD prices would be different. Thanks to Sony pushing hard in the CD area, to make their console fully CD, because remember, Genesis had the Sega CD, and Turbo, Duo and Turbo Graphics had their CDs. There were CD consoles like 3DO, Philips CDI, and stuff like that, but the games that they promised that the prices would be lower never materialized. We thought that because of new technology that the games would be able to fit more on the games and stuff like that. I don't know why, because cartridges is a mechanical device, right? It's a physical mechanical device. in the sense that it has parts in there like chips and stuff like that, opposed to a CD, which the information is burnt onto a CD. And you would think that it'd be a whole lot cheaper, right? So that way the customer can get some type of relief. Well, that never transpired and that never happened. What we did receive over that period of time is the steady increase of the price. Now it got to a point where $49.95 was like a limit. Like something happened in the industry where $49.95 was like, okay, we're not going to go no higher than that. And companies started giving a big pushback, That's when Sega, Nintendo, and PlayStation was battling it out. And then there was a price hike and it went up to $59.95. And then the price hike went up to $69 to where we are right now, $69.95, where it's $70. So what I hear now, and I hear the price is about to jump yet again. And I'm doing a whole bunch of reporting on these companies having large meetings about the industry as a whole and who's going to set the standard, who's going to set the price. Sony has an idea in taking AAA titles and breaking them into threes, whereas one title will garner 3 times, $210, opposed to the normal $70. Then, you hear Microsoft feeling that, okay, what we could do is raise the price of Game Pass as we're putting our first party titles in there and then sell the titles for the price of $80 and get that money from there. And Nintendo has always been staunch in their stance of their pricing. So if the industry goes to $80, Nintendo will go to $80. And the difference between Nintendo and say Microsoft and PlayStation is Nintendo will never have a price cut. Nintendo will always be at the same prices. They very rarely have a price cut, whereas a lot of these games right now, immediately after release, if you don't pick it up on release, the games are discounted immediately. So effectively you make the company, you put them at a disadvantage, right? So we felt that digital purchasing would drop the price. Well, that's not true. If you're looking at what's the reason, what's the big problem that we're having right now, is the problem now is, you say, for example, between 1993 and 2001, the average cost of a new console game was $49.95. But in 2005, with the release of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, the prices increased to $59.95. And you would expect that, games would go up. So in 1997, Atari 2600 game today would be the equivalent of under $200, right? So at a time of progress, the prices of games has fallen, in relative terms, for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 games, $59.99 back in 2013 today would be $76.30. If the game publishers followed inflation pressures, even $69.95 games that released back in 2020 today will be priced at $80.13. If prices kept at a constant pace with inflation, that is a 14% increase. This means that although the average price of new video games increased in the prices absolute terms, they got cheaper over the years in relative terms. Between 1977 and 2020, the average relative price of video games declined almost 2% a year. Now, if new games was adjusted for, until 2022, from 1977, it would be 4 times more expensive today. We have to really understand that inflation is what's making us see games as too costly or we can't afford. And remember, I tell you this is a hobby. Every day I tell you that it's a hobby. Back in 1977, a $69.99 game would have felt like paying $340 today. It was only by 2012 that new games would come under $100 equivalency. Although, we have to really realize that we're on the winning side of this, where companies been taking the brunt of the hits. If you're adjusting by inflation, honestly, games should have been up to $90 by now. Now, I know some people, because I put a poll out, or I put out a thought experiment on Twitter. And the thought experiment was, hey guys, prices about to rise. What do you think about paying $80 for a game? And it came back overwhelmingly negative. And I don't think people really realize that game prices are really undervalued. So when you hear stuff like Mike Ibarra tell you that if you play the game that you really like, there should be a tip option. And you can tell he's a great tipper when he goes to restaurants and stuff like that, because if he eats well, then he's going to give a great tip. And if he felt that if you're playing a game that you should tip. I honestly see that everybody's waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. And if there's one game that's going to push the industry to a space where financially we're going to see a dramatic change in the pricing structure of video games, I honestly believe Grand Theft Auto 6 will force that change. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will take a change, will make the industry take notice to, if you want AAA titles, and I've seen this in all the comments, that I'll pay X amount of dollars for Grand Theft Auto, opposed to individuals saying, no, no title is off the shelf. Every title is off the shelf. I'll just wait for a discount. Knowing that Grand Theft Auto probably will not receive any type of discount, individuals are more inclined to, stick with it. Stick with that pricing for Grand Theft Auto, because they feel that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be that title. And then every title will follow. So whatever the price point Grand Theft Auto sets at, is it $90 for the standard edition? If it's $100 for the standard edition, just be careful, because the industry will follow. Remember, we have been on a 2% decline since 1977 to now. Instead of adjusting for inflation over the 14% per year, financially, our dollars don't stretch as much as they used to. And this is the reason why video games look like they're out of touch when it comes to the pricing structure. You see now games are coming out free to play, and then you're able to buy a battle pass. And in purchasing said battle pass, or seasonal passes, you are now entrenched in the game. That was a smart business practice that worked out for few and far between. Still, the pricing structure is what it is. I honestly believe that we will see a price increase this year. I think the price increase is anywhere from $80 to $90. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 is the one to push that button, then then you could blame it on a third-party company instead of the big three. I do expect Game Pass to raise in price with their next acquisition. I do believe the next big publisher that they do acquire, which would be sometime this year after the administration takes office. I'm talking about in the White House. I believe Nintendo to follow suit. Nintendo will always be the quiet conspirator. The one that says, well, everybody else is doing it, so I'm doing it too. But this was a thought experiment that I have, and please, I want you guys to leave your comments. I want to know, what was your most expensive game that you've purchased? And if Grand Theft Auto goes to $100 or $90 base, would that be something that you will entertain? Because video games has been giving us for so long without raising the prices to the price that it's supposed to be. Technically, a cartridge today or a game today is supposed to cost $340. One game. And then these companies will actually have operating capital. This is the reason why when the leveling started happening, companies realized that, we're overinflating the AAA budget and we're not getting back our investment capital. So shareholders are becoming antsy. And a lot of people, I've been reading my comments saying that shareholders are running the show. Well, they're running the show, especially when the games aren't making back the bread. But this is Xbox Frontline News today, and I want this to be an engaging part today. I really do, because we're about to see a price hike, and it's going to affect all. Because financially, the dollar isn't as strong as it used to be. And I don't know what country you're in, but please leave the country that you're in and the pricing structure of your video games so I can know the difference between what's happening over there and what's happening over here. Well, this is the part in the video where I'm going to tell you to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you liked anything that you saw today with this Saturday thought experiment, then please hit a follow. And if you want to become a member, members got this video over an hour ahead of you guys. And, that's going to be the structure going forward in 2025. Members will get all videos earlier, maybe an hour, maybe a day. I don't know. But it's going to change because members have value. And also, you can catch me streaming on Frontline Gaming Streams. Get to that door. Get to that door. Y'all messing up. Y'all touching too much stuff over here. Get off me. That's right. Don't touch this door. Keep your stinking hands off the door. Ah! Oh! Get that little stinky dude up there shooting. Stop it. Oh, the let loose is crazy. Ha! You jump at me? Forgot what I'm packing. Get out off the wall. Off the wall. Off the wall, monkeys. Off the wall, monkeys. Streams where I stream daily. Like right now, I'm about to jump in some Fortnite and some Marvel Rivals. That's about to happen. And if you're part of the channel, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you can jump into Discord and you can play games and we'll talk. And if you're a member, you dictate pace because we get a chance to, hey, members, you get a spot. You got a spot on the team. You got a spot on the roster or whatever. and we get to play games. But I'm gonna take that logo and I'm gonna throw it on Frontline Gaming streams, and I'm gonna tell you, like I always do, try to play the Game Pass.